soil conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers 50 to 80%. That ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his tip methodology. Really, dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin, yeah. He says recognize trauma, push past the pain. If you got a problem, go look at his frame. Work your perspective and look at it change. Find a goal, set it in critical thing. Manage time, self-awareness. These are the few of the things he's trying to get you to do every day. Do every day. Led 5 schools to increase test scores with his teacher principal collaboration. Things he give to you will have you take you drive to the next level. But first, you need to get some fuel at gas station. Supporting education leaders, creating a culture for kids that'll last for ages. Lack of access to quality professional development, that's outrageous. Got his doctorate in education. Leadership, research, make changes. Need to put the kids first and raise them. Need to teach them they worth, stop playing. Later on, they gon' run this nation. Dr. Joe with his dissertation taught to those who would fix, make changes. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intentions. The teaching and talk is to broaden their vision. The things they weren't taught when they brought up his children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers 50 to 80%. They ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his dip methodology. Really, dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin.
Great day, leaders. Welcome to the Empowerment Zone PDcast, week 69, volume 2, number 27. Let's go. Indeed, it's a great day, y'all. Excited as always. Happy to be here, you all. Glad you all are coming into the room. Definitely share us out. Definitely help us with those algorithms. We got a good message for our educators today, and we definitely want to share. We want to collaborate. We want any and everyone who's able to be in this room today to be in this room. Why not? Let's go. Let's have a good one. Couple of things, you all, as we do start to get going. Definitely appreciate you all that continue to support, that continue to show up weekly, that continue to check out our messages, our professional development. Definitely appreciate that you all keep me going, whether you know it or not, when you're participating, when you're sharing it out, and when you're just in the room. When I go across there looking at it and I see the number of people who have actually joined the room, that keeps me going. So I appreciate that, you all. Definitely those who participate, who have comments and chime in. Appreciate you all as well. I want to, as always, start out, you all, with just a brief, very, very brief moment of silence for our country. All of the things that we're going through as a country, but also these winter storms, I'm definitely involved in it right now. Got a yard full of snow, not on the West Coast, got trapped over. Well, not necessarily trapped over because I'm over here working or what have you in the South anyway. And so just wasn't able to get out and got to go back anyway. So we're going to make the best of it and just let's have a moment of silence for our country and all that we're experiencing together as well as individually, because we need that. Just a brief moment of silence. Yeah. Just a brief one. And it's strengthening that, you all. Strengthen that. And just the fact that we are acknowledging the fact that we need that strength. That's power in itself. So let's go. Been working on a school improvement project, making a big difference, big impact over in a surrounding state. And the thing about it, you all, you just want to keep going, keep giving, keep giving back. That's what it's all about when it comes down to it. So definitely want to shout out both my superintendent and the principal in that project as well. Appreciate that. And a couple of things, you all. One of the big wins. And in those 12 days that we've already been on this particular contract, we've assisted the administration in over 125 observations and feedback sessions, because that's where the growth occurs. So just know that those that are out there, the leaders who need assistance, who are looking to really prime up your program, all under the auspices of what you're doing already as a leader and within your district, within your school, that's some assistance that you got to respect, and that you know that oftentimes we sometimes need it, just to have that different perspective, because I guarantee you that different people are going to see different things, areas of weakness, areas of challenge that we can improve on. So let's continue to put all of that in play. Have a couple of teammates go out, affiliates go out with me as well, and to help participate in that number. So just enjoying, loving everything that we do. We got a good one today on task, you all. Protecting the learning environment to gauge end of year success. Yeah. You can actually gauge it, guide it. You can produce the outcomes that you want to produce. I've seen it done and have assisted in doing and spearheaded doing it on so many different occasions. So that's why I know what it takes, and I know that you all know as well. So when we put all of that together, that's what we come together for in this collaborative moment each and every week, you all. So as we jump into it, I like to always give a prelude. I always give a prelude before we go into the PD for today. And today, I just want to start off and definitely sign in. Let me know where you're signing in from if you have not already. Share us out also, please. We need the algorithm. We want to continue to put out good educational dynamics that can influence the environment that we serve in, you all. That's what it's all about. So definitely help out with that. But one of the things that I like to start with is the prelude. And the prelude is for educators and all. And then we get into our content. And today, want to briefly talk about what leaks into your environment leads outcomes. Let that sink in for a moment, because we also are tying it into education as well, but also in our real life. What leaks into your environment leads outcomes. Every space that we occupy, whether it's home, business, school, relationships, it all produces results. And those results are based off on what you tolerate, what you protect, and what you nurture. What you tolerate is the standard. That's the standard. That's what the base is. That's the minimum. And a lot of times it becomes the maximum because it's the standard. So if I tolerate, whatever I tolerate becomes the standard of excellence. So remember that as leaders, as educators, we have to continue to raise that bar, to push that bar, because what we tolerate becomes the standard. What we protect, that's what we value. What we protect is what we value. And when we value things, we make sure that it's present. We make sure that it's taking place. We make sure that we're doing everything in our power to ensure its success. And when we nurture things, that's where you see people able to flourish. You see the activity that you're working on flourishes because of you nurtured. When you nurture something, you love it, you put time into it, you put dedication into it. And that's powerful. What leaks into your environment, it leads the outcome. And we got to remember that what we tolerate, what we protect, and what we nurture gonna produce those outcomes. See, peace just doesn't happen because we saying that we want it or because we need it. Focus just doesn't happen. Growth just doesn't happen. They have to be protected. They have to be intentional. What leaks into your environment is going to lead those outcomes. And the important thing about what leaks into your environment is those distractions. We got to be able to limit those distractions. We got to be able to push them to a minimum. Because if negativity is going to be the primary thing that dominates, that means that the people that we serve are not going to be confident. Negativity shrinks confidence. We want to be able to have an environment in which we pushing people ahead. So distractions and negativity, that's not what we want. We want to have a supportive environment so we can help people stretch to that next level. Support help people stretch. Help people expand what they're able to do already when they came to you. And that's crucial as a leader to be able to recognize and understand that what leaks into this environment, that's what's going to lead these outcomes, because the environments that we protect, they're going to shape those results. So, you also, hopefully you are with me as we get ready to go into the next phase of the PD cast, you all. Like I said, we got a good message today. We've got some stuff we got to talk about. You all. I just enjoy being able to come on and converse with you. I enjoy those that come on and watch and participate, because collaboration, it really does rule the nation. And when you are doing things for the right reason, it's no one that can stop your success. So keep pushing within your schools, within your organizations, within your community. Keep gathering ideas and keep putting them into play. Keep implementing. Don't ever stop expanding your approach. Don't ever stop networking with those in the vicinity of you so that you all can do more and be better and do more together, you all. So just understand that you are in charge. You are in charge. You can protect your environment to gauge the results. Let's go, you all. Let's go. And the last thing before that, you can't measure end of year success without protecting the environment that produces it. You can't protect end of year success without protecting the environment that produces it. That's a thought, you all. That's a thought. So we want to pound that in, because everybody wants to have a successful learning environment, right? If you work in schools, you want to have an environment that you can call safe, that you can call productive, that you can call visionary, that you can call empowering, that you can call lift, that you can say helps lift up students, leaders, and all educators, and inclusive of all other stakeholders, your parents and community members as well. And it's powerful school. You want to be able to pull up all of those different branches of the people that you serve. And you say, what exactly is the learning environment, really? What is it? You know, it's the foundation of your culture, because you can't, even though we talk about test prep strategies, test prep initiatives, I've done some PDs on those as well a few weeks ago, in fact, but you can't test prep your way to success. You culture prep your way into success. You culture prep your way into success. Then the test prep fix into your culture prep. Does that make sense, you all? If that makes sense and you with me, let me know in the chat, you all, because we about to cook today. We about to cook. The learning environment is built by a number of reasons. It's built by a number of things, number of variables that influence the learning environment. And it has to be protected from a number of different perspectives, or from another number of different angles. You say, what are you talking about now, Dr. Joe? What do you mean by a number of different angles that could influence the learning environment? First off, your adult-to-adult interaction, they're going to shape the culture. They're going to magnify whatever it is, whatever implementation that you have going on in your school. And that's all of the adult-to-adult actions. And some of the student-to-adult actions going to definitely influence that culture also. But it's not just about desks and rules. It's about having confident teachers who are not afraid to innovate, who will go into classrooms, try new strategies, because the leaders set the tone for them to be able to do that. The leaders set the tone for teachers to be able to go in confident and try those new strategies to cultivate that sense of belong. You may have heard me talk from my framework before about connection, empowerment, and collaboration, right? All of that fits into what we're talking about as leaders, as educators. That connection leads to empowerment, which ultimately leads to the collaboration that we want to see. So the tone that we set when adults, when they feel like they're supported, they're able to better support students. They're able to better do what they do at higher levels, meaning not just coming to work and not just preparing lessons, but preparing them to be high yielding, highly impactful lessons where students can grow, where students can learn and be better after it. That's what you want when you talking about leading your teachers, when you're talking about leading your educators. Teachers, they're not going to do that. They're not going to take those instructional risks unless they really, really feel safe in that environment. We had a PD about that, one of the preludes actually, talking about performance leads to safety. Performance is derived from safety within the learning environment. So all of that comes into play because we constantly adding to what we do. We're constantly enhancing what we do as leaders and as educators. So that's power in that. So know that the learning environment really is everything that takes place to shape how instruction is delivered. Wow. You mean to say that the way things occur in the learning environment can shape how teachers are able to deliver it, the confidence that they have in delivering the instruction? Yeah. They'll change up the entire program and do as least as possible if it's just to get by, if it's just to survive. But again, you don't want your people just to survive. You want them to stretch. And to stretch them, it's got to be a good environment that they can do just that in. Y'all, we in here today. If you're with us, definitely sign in. Let us know where you're streaming in from. Next thing about protecting the environment, I got several concrete strategies, as always, that I'm gonna lay on you here in the middle of this. But collaboration protects instruction. Collaboration protects instruction. The act itself of collaborating protects instruction. Yeah, the way adults handle these issues determine the instructional effort that teachers sometimes put forth. If it's an environment where I'm not feeling the vibe as an instructor, I might come in and just do barely just enough. So understand that we got to have these empowering, collaborative environments in which teachers are stronger together, not just on a silo. See, your PLCs, an environment where you're protecting instruction, they become an environment where instruction is talked about first. You know what you mean? It's not gripes. It's not the gripes that take place, because we know that here we're talking about the data, we're talking about the instructional practices that we're able to use. So again, that's another way of protecting instruction, protecting that learning environment so that you can gauge those end of the year results. Because nobody should have told you that it's too late at this point, because now you still got several months where you can tighten down procedures. And I've seen it where the more you do now is able to get the bigger bang for your buck. You never want to be your best at the beginning of any type of season anyway. You want to be your best coming down the stretch once you get into that fourth quarter so that you can push the game into overtime and ultimately win, right? So know that protecting instruction is also about how we're collaborating, because if adults are afraid to ask questions, how is that collaboration piece going to bleed over into their performance? Let that sink in for a minute. Because now you got teachers just playing it safe. They playing it safe, just trying to get out the day. They're in survival mode instead of stretch mode. You want to keep them in stretch mode. So we got to continue to work together. I don't need you to think that you're in this alone. We don't want to think that it's you against the world. No, we want you to know that this is an environment that we can grow in, because when we protect the learning environment, adult collaboration grows. It becomes healthier, right? So know that. Students and both teachers, both, they're gonna need that predictability, that respect piece. They're gonna need that emotional safety, because without it, they can't be the best, most impactful selves. Participation gonna go We back at it, you all. We are back at it. We are back at it. The devil tried to take us away with the internet, but guess what? That's why we got these phones, huh? That's why we got these phones. Yeah, I love to be on my laptop, but I had to change it to the phone just so that we can make sure we get finished up. Cause we were cooking, you all. I'm gonna pick up where I was left off, and what I do, I come back and edit it out. But we were talking about collaboration, and we're down to performance, how leaders can protect the learning environment. We were talking about how leaders can protect the learning environment by addressing that conflict early, right? By addressing conflict early, by making sure that you've got your team focused in a way that you remove barriers for growth. You continue to work with them through the various interventions that you have in place. And here's the thing, you all, your classroom culture, that's gonna be what your school-wide culture is magnified. So whatever type of culture you've established school-wide, that's what is going to take place in those classrooms. That's what's going to take place in those classrooms. So we've got to always be understanding of that part of it as well. And teachers, as leaders, you want to ensure that they're establishing clear, consistent procedures. They're modeling calm under pressure, meaning that self-regulation is primary. You talk about being self-aware of those comments when you got coming down the stretch and you building up the confidence of your students. You might say, instead of, oh, that was wrong, you might say, give me another answer. I know you can answer in a different way that we can get closer to the results. Just that moment. Because now, if there are other students around, there are other people around, I may be embarrassed. Not only my skill, but it might throw me off of focus of what we're trying to do. And protecting the environment, again, comes in many different variables in many different ways. We talked earlier about not being able to test prep your way to success or test prep your way to high performance, but you can culture prep your way into good test prep. Wow, that's powerful. And when we think about it like that, we know that we're gauging the environment to get the results that we need. You are those of you that have just joined back. Of course, the internet went out for a moment. I'm in the South, and it's a lot of snow out there, so I'm happy that we've gotten this far ahead. So again, I was able to come back on my phone and use the data backed up on the cellular device versus the laptop. So we're still here. We still are gonna finish up today. And one of the questions that you got to think about, and one of the things that we led with in the prelude, what are you currently dealing with that's leaking into your learning environment that needs to be addressed? It can't wait any longer. It's gone on for quite some time. We're in a new year now, and it's still going on. What is it? And what is your plan for addressing it? Because you can't ignore it any longer. You got to make sure you get it done. And the other thing is, what are you actively protecting right now? What is it? How are you protecting it? Because when we talk about it, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I'm gonna give you 3 actionable strategies that you can use right before I get out of here. First off, and I mentioned it earlier, but that meeting shift, that instructional focus shift. It's crucial, you all. And you got to make it known that this is not gripe time. When you're talking in your meetings or when you're preparing for meetings, have it known that we're about growth, we're about data, we're about instruction. That is pivotal. It has to be voiced. That has to be set as a norm for those meeting agendas. It has to be part of your everyday practice. Remember, you culture prepping. So you got to prep the culture for that. That's got to be a courageous conversation that you got to have. Second thing, adult check-ins. Yeah, monitor that temperament down the stretch here. We got a lot going on. You got to monitor the check-in, right? What you need to do is make sure you monitor how your people are feeling, because you're dependent on them to, number one, be present, because attendance matters. You have a lot of times people are not on the job because they not feeling like it's for them that day. They not feeling safe in that environment. They feel like they need a break. But you want to make that an environment where they know the importance of what we're gonna do or what we're doing down the stretch. And the last thing you're gonna, and this is powerful, and you'll notice that sometimes as educators and as leaders, as teachers, we get away from our routines. We get away from our lesson line structure that we stuck to at the beginning of the year, meaning we quit going from bell ringer to anticipatory hook to our modeling, to our guided practice, to our independent practice, to our review and closure, and we started skipping pieces of the lesson line. Well, let me tell you, it's crucial that we have and we enforce and we talk about modeling daily. You can't model enough. You can't model enough. Let me put this one on the charger too, y'all. We're in bad shape. But you can't model enough, right? You can't model enough. So understand all of that is crucial in implementing an environment or protecting the learning environment so that you can gauge the end of year results. That's that simple reiteration. Because remember, even as adults, we have to hear things 7 to 8 times before we're able to put them into play a lot of times. So keep that in mind in dealing with our students as well. And otherwise, you all look like we having a tough time today with the technology, but we don't quit. We don't stop. If you haven't figured that out by now, we keep going where I live and where I'm from. I keep coming. I keep providing the information. We keep making sure that we're here for educators. Because this is the thing. Whether you say something or not, whether you share it out or not, whatever the case, I know that it's some educators on here that pick up the things that we're putting down. And if you can help just one, if you can just attend to those that are following you, that are looking to you for leadership, and you know that you're not going to let them down, guess what? You'll never let yourself down, because it's about empowering other people when it's all said and done. That's the most empowering thing that we can do, is to put someone else in position to be successful. When you've already done it, you've learned it, you've been able to put together models, you go in on a humble and you have humility about what you're doing because you want to see your people be successful. There's no one that can stop you from having that success. I say that often because this is what I truly, truly believe and what I mean. I'm changing it again, you all, because of charging it now. But that's crucial, and that's what we have to do. So as we get ready, to close, I do want to say that continue to love, lead, learn with your heart. Continue to be courageous and drown out all fear, and continue to search for wisdom so that we can find our true purpose and be who we need to be in our educational spaces, places, communities, schools, and everything we do. Love what we do, you all. Be resilient. Be like me. Don't stop. Keep bringing you all. Weather, internet, it doesn't matter. We're going to come with it, y'all. Have a great day. Much love and respect.